Good afternoon and welcome to the Breed Softball Park, where the Lynn Classical Rams are hosting the O'Brien Tigers out of Chelsea, Massachusetts. Classical coming in right now with a record of 4-4. Chelsea with a record of 3-3. First batter up for O'Brien, wearing number 9, playing in the pitching position, is Riley H. High fly ball right underneath the second baseman out of Lynn Classical, able to clean that one up. Chevalier. So down goes Riley H. We're sorry, we don't have any last names for you today. Just first names on the roster. Eldemi, the second baseman out of O'Brien, next up to bat on the mound tonight for Lynn Classical. We're number 11, Elias, and behind the plate, Mia Duncan. Happy to bring you interleague softball here on this beautiful May 1st afternoon. We got our crew from Classical up at the perch. Thanks to Kiona and Isaiah for coming out and bringing you these smooth and steady shots. I'm your commentator today, Sean Donahue, and we're happy to have you. If you're watching on our YouTube page, please like, subscribe, smash that notification bell for all the up-to-date sports and events happening right here within the Lynn Public Schools. If you're a Comcast or Verizon subscriber, thank you so much. Without you, we wouldn't be able to provide a curriculum to the student body within the Lynn Public Schools at both the middle school and high school levels. Short, choppy ground ball, hit past Elias, scooped up by F, tossed over to Brooke Braswell for the second out on the top of the first. So down goes Eldemi on a ground out. Next up to bat, the shortstop, Nia B, wearing number 11. O'Brien's last win, a victory over Eastie, part of the Boston City League. 13-1 victory to boast over a league rival. Next game is going to be versus Ursuline tomorrow. Elias gets the call from Duncan, the delivery, swing and a miss. First game we've been able to cover for Lynn Classical here at the Breed softball field. Well, rather me. I think we had Mr. Hoffman come down for the English Classical game. We got a 2- and 3-year-old at home, so, 4 now. 4-year-old, don't tell him. But finding childcare, as you guys know, ain't all that easy. Elias delivers a little low and inside. Duncan able to field that one cleanly. Nia B out of O'Brien in Chelsea, Massachusetts. Waiting patiently inside the box. Showing bunt. Pulls it back high and away. And she'll take the walk. We're at number 54, playing in the third base position, is Nicole R. for the Tigers. So 2 outs, 1 on for the Tigers. 0-1 count right now for Nicole. Elias, quick to get the call, the delivery low, and going for second. And going to get there on a stand-up steal. Nia B after the walk. And Elias looks back, says, I see you. I see you over there, Nia B. The pitch. Duncan able to field that one. A very liberal lead from Nia B. Elias shakes off a few calls from Duncan, the delivery, and hits Nicole R. right in the leg. She'll take the base on the beaning. My buddy Steven on here sharing our inside joke. The old beaning slogan. Make some t-shirts for you guys so you got nothing else to worry about. Next up, to the plate, wearing number 7, the center fielder, Isa 2. So 2 outs, 2 on, 1 in scoring position. Duncan gets the call to Elias. Strike call, 0-1 count. Duncan gets the call. Elias with the delivery. Catches her up high and away. 0-2 count. Elias one pitch away from getting out of this inning and on to the batting lineup. The pitch. Takes a shot at that one. Fouls it off. Just gets under it a little bit more than she wanted to. Duncan quick to retreat. And grab that one as we got two base runners on. 0-2 count, 2 outs, 2 on. Isa 2 gets the pitch swing and a miss. Strike 3, first K of the day for Elias. So at the end of the top of the first, Classical 0, O'Brien 0. We'll be back after this break. Welcome back. Bottom of the first, 0-0 score here. Chevalier, the pitcher, to lead things off. I'm sorry. Chevalier, the second baseman, to lead things off. Showing bunt. And tracking that one down. But not able to make any contact on it. Chevalier, better known as Chevy, in the dugout. On the mound tonight for O'Brien, Riley H. wearing number 9. And Chevy, seeing strike, takes the hit. Behind the plate for O'Brien is Patricia, or number 20. Chevy awaits the pitch. A little high for her liking. Will take a ball on that one. The pitch, high and away, and too high for Patricia. Has to retreat back to grab that one. Riley H. delivers. Chevy gets a shot on that one right over the shortstop's head into center field. Center fielder Isa 2 has to come up, make the play. And Chevy gets the first and able to keep that jersey nice and clean. Next up in the catching position, Mia Duncan. Duncan's first at bat of the game, obviously, Mr. Donahue. It's the first inning. So no outs, 1 on for the Rams. Riley H. gets the call from Patricia, taking a shot at it. Just inside the infield. And Riley H. able to get there and toss out Mia Duncan on the ground out. But that gives Chevalier an opportunity to move to second. And Chevy's got some wheels on her, so let's see what happens here. Nevaeh F., the senior out of Classical, next up to bat. Playing in the shortstop position. Takes a high strike there. 0-1 count for F. Riley gets the call from Patricia. Taking a shot right there into center field, shallow. And coming around third, heading in for the first run of the game, Chevalier able to drop one in. So Chevy gets onto the board with her first run. And Nevaeh F. gets herself a single and an RBI. Brooke Braswell, the first baseman out of Lynn Classical. The next up to bat. Takes a shot at that one, deep center right field. And coming around second, heading into third is F. She'll get held up there. And that gives an opportunity to F to go into second. And I'm sorry. Yeah, so Braswell, sorry. So Braswell going to get a double on that one. Elias, the pitcher, up next for the Rams. If you're wondering, generally we will announce last names. The roster we got from the Tigers all had first names on it. Short, choppy ground ball. It makes it way into left field. That one's going to send F home. Braswell's going to head over to third. And Elias gets on with a single in her first at bat. So Elias earns herself a K defensively and an RBI offensively right here in the first inning. So Eth scores. Three zip right now. Classical over O'Brien. Corbett, the batter. High ball there, takes a cut, catches nothing but air. 1 out and 2 on for the Rams, both in scoring position. Elias at second after the RBI. Braswell at third after the double. Strike call there for Corbett. Corbett playing in the left field position today. We're in the traditional number 9, a special number here in the Boston area. A little bit outside, and able to dodge that one as Corbett just step up into the batter's box and try to bring home some of these fellow Rams. Takes a shot at that one. Shortstop able to get in front of it. Can they get it to first on time? No, they won't. And here comes Elias. And Elias scores for the second run. So Elias scores, Braswell scores, and Chevalier scores. 4-0 here early on for the Rams. Corbett able to get on base, earns herself a double after the error. Next up to bat, Ramirez. Ramirez played at the third base position today. So 1 out, 1 on in scoring position. 4 runs scored this inning so far. Eliani Ramirez awaits the pitch from O'Brien's Riley H. And that one a little close. He's able to get out of the way of that one. Corbett thinking about going, and Coach Moran saying, "How did you hold yourself up there a little bit?" High ball. Fourth. She'll take her base. McKenna Duncan, the center fielder, steps up to the plate. Fouls that one away, 0-1 count. So 1 out, 2 on for the Rams. Corbett in scoring possession at second. McKenna Duncan awaits the pitch. Patricia from O'Brien makes the call, and the delivery from Riley H. Ball count there, 1-1. The pitch from Riley, a little low and inside, and that's going to give Corbett the go-ahead to head over to third. And Ramirez shuffles on down to second for a steal. So a handful of steals for the Rams. Great offensive inning. Solid defensive inning. And we only got 1 out. High and away. And that one's going to send Corbett. Corbett's going to steal home. She called safe. Corbett earns herself a run after the 2 RBIs after the error. Steals herself 2 bases, one of which a very important base. That also gives Eliani Ramirez the go-ahead to take third. Ramirez with 2 stolen bases in her first at-bat. McKenna Duncan Staring down Riley H. Patricia makes the call. The delivery. And hit right on the hip. Duncan got to take her base on the walk. And our second beating of the game. Pinto, the right fielder, steps up to the batter's box for the first time today. The pitch, a little wild, and that's going to give McKenna Duncan the go-ahead to steal second. And more importantly, we got Eliane Ramirez earning herself a run here in the first. So Duncan advances to second after the wild pitch. Pinto steps it up. So now 5-1 in favor of the Rams. Duncan awaits the delivery just a bit inside, able to avoid that one. And that's going to give the go-ahead to McKenna Duncan to advance to third. 5-1 in favor of the 5-0 in favor of the Rams right now. And Pinto making Riley H. work for it. High strike there. And Pinto throws down her bat, says, all right, I'm going to head to first. And the ump says, no, you can't because you did not walk yet. Well, that's one way of drawing a line in the sand. Save place, ball 4. Pinto going to take the walk. McKenna Duncan hung up at third. 1 out right now for the Rams. Heading back to the top of the lineup, Chevalier. Going to get right back to work. So 1 out, 2 on, 1 in scoring position. Kenna Duncan at third, high and away. And Duncan reluctant to go for home. Pinto says, I'll take second. Thank you very much. A woman known as Chevy, playing in the second base position today. Awaits the delivery from Riley H. High fly ball in a center left field. Isa 2 out of O'Brien, gets under it for the second out. And that gives the go-ahead for McKenna Duncan to tag up and get herself a run. So the sac fly from Chevalier earns the Rams their 6th run of the inning. Pinto gets hung up at second, decides not to take the risk of advancing to third. Chevalier goes down with a fly out in her second at-bat. Mia Duncan stepping up to the plate today. Wild pitch there gives the go-ahead for Pinto to steal third. 2 outs, 1 on in scoring position for the Rams. Mia Duncan, the catcher, a ground out in her first at-bat. Hoping to find redemption here. The delivery from Riley H. out of O'Brien a little low. Mia Duncan takes a shot at that one. Short, choppy ground ball to the shortstop out of O'Brien for the 3rd out. And the force out there will send the Rams back to defense. So Duncan grounds out twice in the first inning, leading off the lineup. In the second for the Rams is going to be Nevaeh F. But what an inning for the Rams defensively and offensively. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Count them. 7 runs for the Rams in the first inning. We'll be back with the second after this break. Welcome back. Top of the second here. Rams having themselves a solid first inning. 6 runs earned. Sorry, 7. 7-0 here against O'Brien out of Chelsea. Leading off the lineup here in the second for O'Brien. We're at number 4, playing in the DP position, Cynthia. A reminder to those who have been watching, and a quick note for those who might just be tuning in. The roster we got from O'Brien didn't have any last names, so that's why you're hearing some JV commentating from Mr. Donahue. On the mound for the Rams, Elias, 1 strikeout so far. Behind the plate, Mia Duncan. Short, choppy ground ball over to Nevaeh F. Tosses over to Brooke Braswell for the no out. No out, didn't get it. Says that Braswell was bobbling the ball. So Cynthia attributed a single. First hit of the day for O'Brien. Next up to the plate, we're number 13, Macy, playing in the left field position. Bunt there, gets the force out at first. Good heads-up play by Duncan to get right there and force Macy out on the ground out. Cynthia advances to second. And Ayana, next batter up for the Tigers. Ayana playing in the right field position today. 1 out, 1 on in scoring position for O'Brien. Elias gets the call from Duncan. The delivery to Ayana. High and away. O'Brien coming in with a 3-3 record. Little interleague softball here for you. Last win for the Tigers was versus conference rival Eastie, and a drop ball there. Gonna give the go-ahead for Cynthia to go on and steal third. So Cynthia, the DP player, working her way around the baseline. 1 out, 1 on. Ayana awaits the pitch from Elias, a little high and away. Duncan quick to retreat and get that one. And that one will hold Cynthia up at third. Next game for O'Brien. Tomorrow they got Ursuline at home. Ayana awaits the pitch just outside. And that'll be ball 4. She'll take her base. So including the beating in the first. 3 walks so far for Elias, 1 strikeout. And O'Brien knocking on the door. Anissa, the next player up for the Tigers. Anissa playing in the first base position, her first at bat of the day. And trying to steal second, not in position is F. But she'll field the attempt for a pickoff from Duncan. Duncan threw it right to her, right in the shortstop position. So that gives Ayana the go-ahead to steal second. Elias with the pitch. Little inside, 2-2 count here for Anissa. Anissa's first at bat of the day, the first baseman out of O'Brien. Trying to bring in a couple of runners. 1 out, 2 in scoring position for the Tigers. Elias get a shot, ground ball. That's going to give the go-ahead for Cynthia to earn herself her first run of the game, the DP player. And a nice little RBI for Anissa. She'll go on over to first. There's short, choppy ground ball there. So now Macy on third. Sorry, not Macy. Cynthia, Ayana on third. And Anissa at first. Patricia, the catcher, playing in the flex position today. Her first at bat of the day. We're in number 20. And hits a rocket on the ground right past the classical third baseman. And luckily for Ramirez, that one a little bit too far outside the base path. Foul ball call. Strike call. And now Elias is going to come up after the wild pitch, trying to catch Ayana on the steal to home, and she's just too quick. Too quick for him. 7-2 in favor of the Rams. O'Brien knocking on the door once again. Patricia still the batter. So 2 outs for O'Brien. Anissa with the last out on the ground out. Fouled off along the O'Brien dugout. But Anissa, after the ground out, earns herself an RBI. So something to boast. Low and in the dirt. Ball call there. So 2 outs, no on. 2 runs scored so far here in the second for O'Brien. Elias gets the call from Duncan. Takes a shot at that one. Hits it along the third baseline. That one goes out of the park. Foul ball. Patricia making Elias work for it. Elias gets the call from Duncan. The delivery. Low and inside, ball 4. And Patricia will take the walk. Heading back to the top of the lineup for O'Brien, Riley H. Stepping up to bat for the second time today. A fly out in her first at bat. So 2 outs. 1 on. And 2 runs scored so far for the Tigers. Riley 8 steps up to the plate, and Elias delivers a smoking strike. Top left of the strike zone. Elias with the delivery, low and in the dirt. Duncan able to corral that one. And hold Adelise over as the pinch runner at first. So Adelise pinch running for Patricia. Short, high fly ball. Hit to Nevaeh F for the 3rd out of the inning. So as we approach the bottom of the second, O'Brien able to work their way back out of a 7-run deficit. 7-2 in favor of Lynn Classical. We'll be back with the bottom of the second. Welcome back. Bottom of the second here. Rams over O'Brien, 7-2. Nevaeh F leading it off here. After the single in her last at-bat, was able to trek across home plate for the 2nd run of the day for the Rams. F having herself the day defensively as well. A couple of ground balls and hucking the ball over to Brooke Braswell for a few forced outs at first and corralled the last fly out for the 3rd out. O'Brien started knocking on the door. Riley H. gets the call from Patricia. The delivery to F. And F just about gets hit with that one, but has a lot of agility and was able to duck out of the way. Cool windy day down here at the Breed softball field. First one I've been able to cover here for the Rams. And the fourth ball is going to send F to first on the trek. Braswell, the first baseman, next up to bat. Braswell with a double in her last at bat. The pitch, choppy ground ball to third base. And the third baseman of O'Brien says, I'm not really ready to chuck this one over. Ethel advance to second. Braswell will take the single, her second hit of the day. Elias, the pitcher, stepping up to the plate. So Nicole Aro to O'Brien said, I'm not sure about that one. Deep fly ball in the left field, gobbled up by the left fielder out of O'Brien. And boy, howdy, what a heads-up play. Macy, the left fielder, caught the ball shallow left field and almost got F on the failed tag-up. F quick to slide back in and will salvage her spot there at second. So Elias goes down with a fly out. Corbett hits one deep into left field. All base runners will advance except for Brooke Braswell. Braswell gets tagged out at second. Corbett will go to first. And a great play made by the right fielder out of O'Brien, Ayana. Let's get the force out against Brooke Braswell at second. Ramirez, the next batter, a walk at her first at bat. Wild pitch there gives Corbett the go-ahead to steal second. Eth still hung up at third. The pitch from Riley, a little inside. Patricia able to corral that one. I'm playing a little bit of goalie in the first inning. Ball call there. Ramirez playing in the third base position today for the Rams. Gets a shot, line drive right past the pitcher. Eth will walk in. And here comes Corbett rounding third. So Eth earns herself a second run. Corbett as well. And Ramirez with an RBI. Ramirez gets hung up at first. McKenna Duncan stepping up to the plate for the second time today. And hits that one foul along the first baseline. Duncan getting beamed in her first at bat. Playing in the center field position. She looked pretty good defensively. So not sure we got to worry there. How about Ramirez with 2 RBIs in her second at bat? Another beating for Duncan. And Duncan will head over to first base. Ramirez heads to second. Pinto, the right fielder, Adeline Classical, steps up to the plate. A walk at her first at bat. Takes a swing there, 0-1 count for Pinto. Two outs here for the Rams. 2 on, 1 in scoring position. Ramirez at second after the 2 RBIs. Hoping that Pinto can batter in. Reluctant to try to take third is Ramirez. Ramirez gets the third safely. And right behind her, McKenna Duncan. So Duncan steals after the beating. And Ramirez takes third. So now 2 in scoring position for Pinto. 2 outs here for the Rams. 7-2 lead for Classical over O'Brien. Pitch. Strike call. Pinto looking at Coach Morin for the call. The pitch. Strike 3. And that's 3 outs. Pinto goes down with a K. And first strikeout of the day for Riley H. out of O'Brien. Classical able to earn themselves a couple more runs. And we're heading into the 3rd inning here. We'll be back after this break. And we're back, fresh inning here. Leading it off for the Tigers. We're in number 8, Aldemi. Aldemi playing in the second base position today. Her second at bat. Ground out in her first. Lynn Classical hosting O'Brien out of Chelsea. High pitch there. Elias on the mound today for the Rams. Behind the plate, Mia Duncan. Elias with 1 strikeout so far. Had herself a tough inning in the second. O'Brien able to knock on the door and add 2 runs to the tally as they came into the second down 7 runs. Pitch low, ball call. And I believe, actually, we might have Nia B up. We're in number 11. And I thought we had Aldemi up. And maybe just a switch. The last out would have been for Riley. Ball 4 gives her the go-ahead to take her base. And we'll get a shot of the trot down at first for you next time. And I want to be careful about who we're calling up and down. Nicole R. We're in 52. A wild pitch there. This is going to give Nia B the go-ahead. So it was Nia B up. She gets a single and steals one there after the wild pitch from Elias. Nicole R. quick to step out of the way. The pitch from Elias. A little high. And a liberal lead from Nia B. So liberal, in fact, she was close enough to third to just dive on the bag. Second stole a base of the second at bat for Nia B. So no outs. And 1 already in scoring position for O'Brien. Nicole R. awaits the pitch. Elias gets the call from Duncan, the delivery. High and inside, ball 4. And 2 walks to start it off. Sorry, Elias. 1 walk to start it off. That's one of my flubs. Coach Warren will laugh at me about that one later. Isa 2, the center fielder, stepping up to the plate. No outs, 2 on, 1 in scoring position. Elias likes the call, the delivery. Low. And now they're going to try for a pickoff. And for some reason, Duncan tried to throw it over to F for the cutoff. Trying at third. F throws it home. and catches Nicole R. on the steal for home. Nia B scores the third run of the day for the Tigers here in the third. And Nicole R. gets caught at home being a little greedy. But that's what it is, right? We want to score more runs than the other guy. Isatu steps back up to the plate. A wasted delivery. So 1 out for the Tigers. 1 run scored so far. Isatu, the center fielder, gets low to shrink that strike zone. Elias likes the call from Duncan. The delivery. Low and in the dirt. Ball call. And the score might not say this, but the momentum's definitely in favor of the Tigers today. Ball call. Bounces up off of the toe of Duncan. And back behind. So Elias comes up to try to cover. Gets a quick handoff from Duncan, heads back to the mound. The pitch from Elias. Strike call. And Isatu trying to shrink that strike zone. I could hear the ump saying you can't duck down. Isatu's second at bat of the day, hoping to find redemption against Elias as Elias caught her first K. And now her second against Isatu. Isatu goes down swinging, 2 outs here for O'Brien. 1 run scored so far. Cynthia, the DP player, to step up to the plate for the Tigers. A single in her last at-bat. And was able to steal third after being batted in a second. Foul ball there. 0-1 count for Cynthia. If you're just joining us and wondering why we only got first names for the Tigers, well, that's what the roster is. We like to try to keep the last names going, but want to make sure that these young ladies out of Chelsea, Massachusetts get some recognition as they're fighting their way through the Boston City League. A little interleague softball here for you at Breed. I'm your commentator, Sean. Short, choppy ground ball. That one gets past Elias. F picks it up and knocks it down for the third out. Solid toss over to Brooke Braswell. So O'Brien able to tack one more onto the board. The score right now of 9-3 in favor of Classical. We'll be back with the bottom of the third. And we're back. Bottom of the third. Chevalier to lead it off for the Rams. And a pitching change, I believe, for the Tigers. Nope, I'm wrong. Riley H. still on the mound. What were you thinking, Sean Donahue? No confidence in Riley H. Earned herself her first strikeout last inning. 9-3 score here in favor of the Rams. Chevalier, the batter. And also the pitcher. I'm sorry, I keep doing this to the kid. And the second baseman today hits that one deep to center field and right under it for the first out. As always, the trusty Isatu making the play again. Having herself a day here in center field. The Chevy goes out with a fly out. Got a lot of contact on that one. Mia Duncan, the catcher, next up to bat. A ground out in her first 2 at-bats. Hoping to find redemption here against Riley H. Classical coming in with a record of 4-4, 4-2 in the GBL. Last win, an 11-7 victory. And next game for the Rams is on Monday versus Everett. Right here at Breed, 4:15. The pitch from Riley H. Gets that one to Patricia, but not through the strike zone. Ball call. The pitch from Riley, high and away. The pitch from Riley H. Getting a little bit of contact. Hits that one right back to the pitcher out of O'Brien. And a safe call there for Mia Duncan. So Duncan getting on base the first time today. Nevaeh Eth, the shortstop, to step up to the plate next for the Rams. Eth with a walk in her first and her last at bat and a single in her first at bat. Earned herself an RBI and 2 runs so far in the game. Eth has to jump out of the way of that one. A wild pitch. It's going to give the go-ahead for Mia Duncan to steal second. So Duncan making the best out of her first at bat to get on base. 1 out, and 1 on in scoring position for the Rams. Eth gets the pitch from Riley H. Again, low and away. Patricia quick to gobble that one up after the wild pitch, and that's going to hold Duncan up at second. She thought about going to third. Tough vantage point. Pitch from Riley H. Another one inside. That one a little bit wild for Patricia. And making her way over to third base. Her second steal of the day. Mia Duncan. 1 out, 1 in scoring position for the Rams. The pitch from Riley H. out of O'Brien. Ball 4. And Eth will take a trek for the second time today. Brooke Braswell, the first baseman. A single in her last at bat, a double in her first. Got caught on the force out at second last at bat. Braswell hits that one high and foul over the O'Brien dugout. 0-1 call for the senior out of Lynn Classical. Braswell with a run already today. The pitch from Riley H. right where she wants it. And Eth says, I'm going to just take second for fun. Can I have second? And Patricia says, okay, but you can't have third yet. Braswell waits the pitch. Riley H's shot hit past the third baseman. Shortstop scoops it on up. And Duncan's going to score for the first time today. Eth will advance to third. And Braswell gets on base yet again. Elias, the pitcher, stepping up to the plate. A fly out in her last at bat, a single in her first. Takes a shot at that one, foul ball along the third baseline. Elias awaits the pitch. 1 out here for the Rams. High fly ball. That one has a chance to get one of the Classical base runners home. F tags up. The sac fly from Elias results in another run. So F scores her 3rd run of the day. And Isa 2 out of Bryant. She ain't going to let anything fall. Kid's got some wheels on her, too. Short, choppy ground ball to the third baseman out of O'Brien. Not enough time to get there. She's going to get to first. And that's Corbett with the single. Braswell advances to second. And Ramirez steps up to the plate. The pitch from Riley H. Strike call there. And heading over to third on the steal, Brooke Braswell. Safe call. And a lot of excitement out of the Classical dugout. Everyone trying to decipher what was said. A lot of action for Ramirez at this at-bat. Just kind of hanging out and watching her fellow Rams work their way around the base path. High and away, ball call. One out, two in scoring position for the Rams. The pitch from Riley H. High fly ball, but shallow, right underneath the second baseman out of O'Brien for the third out of the inning. I must have missed one. Oh, no, I didn't. Ramirez with the fly out. Third out of the inning. Classical able to tack on a couple more runs. We'll do a tally and we'll get the score for you. But coming up, top of the fourth, we'll be back after this break. Score right now, 11-3. Up at bat, Macy. Out of O'Brien, her second at bat of the day, a ground out in her first. Hoping to find redemption here against Elias. And we're going to get a tighter shot for you so we can see all the action. Second base is the base in the middle of the field. Bump there, right back to Elias. And coming up, trying to make the forced throw out at first is Duncan. A little too high. And too long on the delivery. Macy gets the first for the first time today. Ayana stepping up to the plate. The right fielder out of O'Brien, a walk in her last at bat. Stole second, third, and home. Making the most out of getting on base. And that was in the second inning. So after the single from Macy, Ayana steps up to the plate to try to test Elias. And a shot there. Trying for the throw out on the steal is Duncan. And Duncan can't get it there in time. Macy showing off the wheels. Stealing her way in a second. Taking a page out of the book of Ayana. The pitch from Elias low and in the dirt. That's going to go ahead and give the signal to Macy to take third as well. So a little deja vu for Elias. As she watches one of the Tigers work their way around the base path. Ayana now. No outs on the board. A player in scoring position already. Second at bat of the inning. And not such a wild pitch, but just one that was tough for Duncan to field. Gets Macy anticipating an opportunity to steal home. She's going to hang up on that third base bag until Elias starts her routine. Low and inside, ball call there. And that fourth ball will result in a walk. Ayana able to get on base last time with a walk. Then she stole three. Anissa, first baseman out of O'Brien. Wearing number 10, steps her way up to the plate. And Duncan barking out some orders to her infield. Shrinking down that strike zone. Anissa awaits the pitch from Elias. Takes a shot at that one right back to Brooke Braswell. She got the forced out at first. But not able to get that one home to try to throw out Macy. Macy scoring the fourth run of the day for O'Brien. Anissa goes down with a ground out. Ground out in her first at bat. But an RBI that time and again. So 2 RBIs. Fouls that one away. So 1 out here for the Tigers. Ayana, after the walk, advances to second. Patricia, flex player playing as the catching position, hits that one right over the second baseman's head and working her way in, rounding third, in for the second run of the inning. After the walk, Ayana, her second run of the day. Patricia earning herself her first RBI and her first single and hit of the day. Eleven to 5. Bryant knocking on the door. The pitch from Elias, bunt. Elias picks it up, tosses it over to Brooke Braswell for the second out of the inning. So the sacrifice bunt goes and gives the pinch runner, Adalise, the go-ahead to take second. So ground out for Riley H. Nia B steps her way back up to the bag yet again. Third at bat of the day for Nia B. Foul ball along the O'Brien dugout. So 2 outs here for the Tigers. 1 on in scoring position. Pinch runner for Patricia. At second, Adalise. And a solid swing there. Third strikeout of the day for Elias. And third out of the inning. O'Brien able to tack on a couple more. So at the end of the top of the fourth, Classical with a score of 11 to O'Brien's 5. We'll be back after this break. Roll. Welcome back, bottom of the fourth. Leading it off for the Rams, McKenna Duncan. Short choppy ground ball over the O'Brien third baseman. And called foul. So she'll make the trek back. Third at bat of the day for McKenna Duncan. 2 beanings so far. I was psyched to make some contact that wasn't her getting hit. Duncan awaits the pitch from Riley H. Smokes that one along the first baseline. The O'Brien second baseman able to field that one cleanly. And a great heads-up play by the second baseman out of O'Brien. That's Eldemi wearing number 8. Duncan goes down with a ground out. Pinto steps up to the plate, a strikeout in her last at bat, a walk in her first. And Classical going to town in the first inning. Been a little stall-worthy here as they continue, but still consistent on the runs. Hits that one over the shot stop out of O'Brien. Can't field it clean enough. She gets on base with a hit. Nia B there on the play. Pinto earns herself her first hit of the day. Back to the top of the lineup for the Rams. Chevalier stepping up to the batter's box. Strike call. The pitch, high and away, sloppy. That's going to give the go-ahead for Pinto to go on and steal second. So Pinto's third stolen base of the day. 2 in the first inning after the walk. Chevalier awaits the pitch from Riley H. Low and inside. Patricia able to corral that one and hold Pinto up at second. Riley H gets the call from Patricia, the delivery. High ball there, third ball. Good shot in a center right field. And here comes Pinto around in third, going in for the first run here of the fourth inning. And Pinto earning herself her first run of the game. And Chevalier gets onto the board with the RBI after the single. Mia Duncan stepping up to the plate. Third time today, a single in her, fourth time today. A single in her first at bat, 2 groundouts in the first inning. So that was Chevalier's fourth at bat. Nevaeh at the shortstop, stepping up. Mia Duncan still. Strike call there. And a heads-up play by Chevalier to say, I'm going to go and try to steal second. Here I go, and there I did it. Chevalier advances to second. 1 out here so far for the Rams. Short choppy ground ball. Hit over to the second baseman out of O'Brien. Gets the force out at first. So Duncan gets the ground out. But it gives gives Chevalier the go-ahead to advance to third. So 2 outs here for the Rams. Nevaeh F steps up to the plate. Short ground ball, able to sneak past the shortstop. And that one is going to give the go-ahead for Chevalier to earn her first run of the day. So F gets on with another single. Her fourth at bat of the day. Brooke Braswell up to bat for the Rams. That pitch right there, a little bit too much for Patricia to corral in. And that's going to give F the go-ahead to steal second, her second stolen base of the day. Braswell playing in the first base position. Already on the board with a run and an RBI at the very least. Ground ball over to the third baseman, trying for the force out. Can't get it there. And that's going to give F the go-ahead to round third. In for a fourth run of the day. Braswell earns herself another RBI and a stand-up double after the error for the try at the force out. Elias, the pitcher, next up to bat for the Rams. Elias gets the pitch from Riley H, swing and a miss. Patricia quick to corral that one and show Brooke Braswell, I got the ball, so if you want to go, go now. Braswell says, no, I'm cool, kid. I'm cool, bro. Elias awaits the pitch from Riley H. Patricia gets the call. High fly ball. That one's going to sail out of the park behind the backstop. High and away for a ball call. The pitch from Riley H. Gets a piece of that one. Sneaks past the third baseman, but not the shortstop. Gets that one right back to Riley H. Braswell advances to third. And Elias gets on base for the second time today. Corbett, the next batter up for the Rams. And a 3-run inning so far for Classical. Corbett gets the pitch. Fouls that one away. And Elias trying to steal second. The jig is up. Now they know. Corbett's fourth at-bat of the day. A double in her first. Stole 3 bases. Sorry, 2 bases, one of which were home. And there goes Elias on her first steal of the day. Then Corbett came in and hit 2 more singles. So has earned herself 2 runs and 2 RBIs thus far. Fouls that one off back along the backstop. 2 outs right now for the Rams. And 2 in scoring position. And if there's somebody you want up to bat right now, it's going to be Corbett. Corbett batting 1,000 already. A handful of RBIs. The pitch from Riley H. Low. And Corbett's commended on her ability to see balls and strikes. 2-2 count here. Patricia gets the call to Riley H. The delivery. High fly ball. That one's going into the right field. And for the 3rd out of the inning, that one's going to be attributed to number 1, Ayana, making the play for the final out. And a 3-run inning there for the Rams brings us to a tally of 14-5 in favor of Classical. We'll be back with the top of the 5th. Welcome back. Top of the 5th here, leading it off for the Tigers, Nicole R. The pitch, low and inside, Elias. The pitcher for today. And Mia Duncan catching for her. Strike call there. 3rd at-bat of the day for Nicole R. Got beaned in her first. Walked. And her second. Got caught stealing home. Short choppy ground ball right back to the pitcher. And Elias scoops that one up, tosses it over to Brooke Braswell for the first out of the inning. So ground out for Nicole R. on her 3rd at-bat. Isa 2. Center fielder coming up. Isa 2 getting low to shrink that strike zone. Strike call there, 0-1. Elias gets the call. Happy to oblige. Strike 2. Isa 2, see a hitter is what we keep hearing from the dugout out of O'Brien. Bunt right there. Goes foul before Duncan can get to it. Braswell quick to come up. Elias quick to come up as well. One and 2 count here for Isa 2. Isa 2 takes a cut at that one, fouls it back up and just over the backstop. Same count. Elias with the pitch, high and away. Duncan gets the call to Elias. Elias happy to get it. Delivery right to Ramirez for the 2nd out. The force out at first. Ramirez playing in the 3rd base position. tosses out Isatu. Isatu getting contact to get down the base path for the first time today. Elias with 3 strikeouts, 2 of which going to Isatu. So ground out, our third at bat. Solid center fielder. Hasn't let one fall yet. Cynthia stepping up to the plate for the Tigers in the DP position. A ground out in her last at bat. 1 steal so far. First at bat, a single. Two outs here for O'Brien. And no base runners on. Cynthia says, no way, Jose. That's a little low for me. And of all the games I've called, I gotta say, the chants coming from the O'Brien dugout are certainly the most fun. I could see them as catchphrases on t-shirts, a fundraiser idea, free of charge. You're very welcome to the athletic department over at O'Brien. Elias gets the call from Duncan. The delivery a little high. And Cynthia's seen it all over on that at bat. Gets walked over to first. Macy, the next batter up for the Tigers. A single on her last at bat. 2 stolen bases as well. Macy gets a piece of that one. Hits it right back to Brooke Braswell. She'll tag up at first for the third out. And Braswell making a count there to send the Rams back onto the offensive side of the board. So same score as the way we started. Classical 14, O'Brien 5. We'll be back with the bottom of the 5th. And we're back, bottom of the 5th here. Rams leading it. New pitcher on the mound for O'Brien, Camille, coming in. First names are all we got on the roster, so we'll do our best to keep everybody included. Ramirez stepping up to the plate. Short, choppy ground ball. Camille picks it up with a force out at first. And Ramirez goes down with a ground out. So 1 out so far for the Rams. 14 runs on the day for Classical. High fly ball, hits Isatu, gets there again. And this kid is a magnet for softballs. McKenna Duncan goes down with a fly out. And her 4th at bat of the day. And laying out for it, Isatu out of O'Brien. Kid's got the wheels. Did you get it, Isaiah? He's dang well better. Good work, buddy. Our crew from Classical up at the perch bringing you this game. Isaiah and Kiona, 2 of our finest. Bringing you these smooth and steadiest shots. Pinto, the next batter up. 2 outs here for the Rams. Pinto with a single on her last at-bat. A strikeout before then. And Camille getting to work right away. We're leaving Riley here in the 5th. High ball there. This will be a first 3 up, 3 down inning for O'Brien. Camille, the reliever, putting some momentum. And a high fly ball over to the Bryant third baseman. Can't get there on the error. That one's going to go foul anyway. But would have shored up the third out. And that's number 4, Cynthia, playing in the DP position. And way inside. That one forces Pinto to jump out of the way. Pinto got a walk in her first at-bat. A couple stolen bases. A single in her last at-bat. 1 run earned so far. And full count here for Pinto. The delivery from Camille, low and away, ball 4. And Penta going to take a walk for the second time today. Back to the top of the lineup for the Rams, Chevalier. Stepping up to the plate, playing in the second base position today. A single in her last at-bat. This is her 5th at-bat of the season. High fly ball in the left field, and just under it. Can't get control on it. Number 13 out of O'Brien. That's Macy. And that shot right there will advance both base runners 1 to second. Throwing up the praying mantis right there. Classical's very own, number 2, Chevalier. Earns herself a double for the first time today. And that advances Pinto to third. So 2 outs, 2 on for the Rams, both in scoring position as Mia Duncan stepping up to the plate. The catcher out of Lynn Classical. And that's another praying mantis stance there by Chevalier. She must have recently been watching The Karate Kid. We saw that yesterday from St. Mary's. There must be like a thing out there that I don't know about because I'm old. Duncan awaits the pitch from Camille. Takes a shot at that one. Hit right to the second baseman from O'Brien. A high shot. That one goes past the first baseman. And that one meant El Demi can't get there in time. Both base runners are going to advance for Classical. And Duncan's going to earn herself a double. So another run. 2 more runs for Classical. Pinto, 2 on the day. Chevalier, 3 on the day. Every time she's got on base, she's scored. Nevaeh at the shortstop, up to bat for the Rams. Ball call there. 1-0 count. And Mia Duncan sitting pretty after the double and the 2 RBIs. Gets a good shot at that one. That one's deep into left field, but sails foul right at the end. And that might have been the loudest crack of the day. Awaits the pitch from Camille. Drives that one right in the same place but on the ground. That's going to give the go-ahead for Mia Duncan to advance home. So Duncan scores again. And a stand-up triple for Nevaeh here in the bottom of the third. Bat in her second RBI. 4 runs for the kid so far. Great game for a senior. And it looks like they're going to call it right there as Classical advances past the slaughter rule. And we'll get a count for you on runs. So 17 on the day so far for Lynn Classical. Well, that's it. That's it thus far. The most runs that Classical will score today is 17. So 17-5 is the final score. Classical is going into advance to a record of 5-4 in interleague softball game. Good news for the Rams, bad news for the Tigers. Classical playing against Everett next Monday, 4:15 right here at Breed. Player of the day has got to be Nevaeh. Playing well defensively. A single in her first at bat, 2 walks, another single, stolen base, a stand-up triple right there to win it. 4 runs on the day, 2 RBIs. Great job today, Nevaeh. Standouts for O'Brien. Got to give it up to the center fielder in the 8th position, Isa 2 wearing number 7. And all outfielders for O'Brien came out to play really, really well. Elias with 3 strikeouts. Doesn't get much better than that for the Rams. So at the end of 5, Classical with 17 and O'Brien with 5. O'Brien going to fall to a record of 3-4. Their next game against Ursuline tomorrow. Thanks for tuning in here for some interleague softball here at the Breed Softball Park. From Lynn Educational Television, I'm Sean Donahue, thanking you and my crew from Lynn Classical for bringing you these smooth and steady shots. We'll see you next time.